Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Friday, the 20th of November. Hi, I'm Paul and I'll be your host here on New Zealand Sports Radio. In the news this morning, Black Ferns have picked their side to face the New Zealand Barbarians in the second of their matches in this series. We also have the grandson of a famous cricketer being picked for Wales in the Autumn Nations Cup. The NBA draft happened yesterday, or started yesterday, and we'll have news from that, including an ex-New Zealand breaker and where he has ended up. We've got the PGA Tour going on, or golf going on in South Africa. We had the NZNBL's 18 in 18 women's competition kicking off last night as well. A cracking game that was between Auckland Dream and Waikato Wizards. As well as obviously reminding you what rugby is on this weekend. So lots of news, and this is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news here on New Zealand Sports Radio. Don't forget, I come to you live at 7 a.m. every single morning. First up, let's kick off with the football then. Auckland City have been nominated as the Oceania Football Conference entry into the FIFA Club World Cup. This has been delayed from December to February of next year, it's going to be held in Qatar, and so they got to nominate a team. Normally, it would be the winner of the OFC Champions League. But as that tournament couldn't go ahead due to COVID this year, or couldn't complete this year, they had to figure out which team was ranked highest and put through. As Auckland City won, were unbeaten and topped Group D with 3 wins, scoring with a goal difference of 9, scoring 9 goals, but just conceding 0. They were top of the rankings. They've been nominated to go. So congratulations to Auckland City, and we should wish them all the best in the World Club Champions, the World Club Cup, dear me, over in Qatar, which will be taking place in February. This weekend sees the Black Ferns in their take on New Zealand Barbarians in their second game. And the first game last weekend was won 34-15 by the Black Ferns, and this is their second in the series as part of their build-up to the Rugby World Cup that will be held here in New Zealand next year. We see 2 debutantes have been named for the Black Ferns. Grace Steinmetz on the wing, and Renee Holmes will be at fullback. Also, they have recalled Paya Tapsel and T. Kura Naitai Aramante into for their first starts in the black jerseys. Tikura, we had a chat with, was the Northland captain, and one of the fabulous ladies we've had us on post-match interviews as we got around the Farah Palmer Cup games this year. She had a great year with Northland, and good to see her rewarded with that black cap. Sorry, with that Black Ferns jersey start this weekend. Also in the rugby, and I said the Autumn Nations Cup, Cardiff have named James Botham to make his debut against Georgia. He is the grandson of Ian Botham, the cricketer. Congratulations to James, and I'm sure Ian Botham will be watching that one closely. Following on with cricket, and former Sri Lankan seamer and bowling coach Nawan Zoysa has been found guilty of match-fixing offences. He was charged back in 2018 as being guilty of 3 breaches of the anti-corruption code, including being party to in an effort to fix an international match. His sentencing will happen later. Last year, he was also charged with 4 anti-corruption breaches in the United Arab Emirates T10 League, and those proceedings remain ongoing. Moving on then to the NBA draft, and yes, lots of basketball action yesterday. And in the draft, Anthony Edwards was the first pick going to Minnesota Timberwolves. Also in the draft was former breaker R.J. Hampton, and there were some concerns. Apparently, he was expected to go in the top 15 or projected to go in the top 15, but he slid down the draft to 24th, where the Nuggets selected him, and he was he actually was selected by the New Orleans Pelicans and then traded to the Denver Nuggets. This led to a bit of confusion as all the draftees were sent 30 baseball caps to the different teams, and he was wondering which cap he should grab. But look, he's got to see his place with the Nuggets, and good luck to him with his NBA career. We also had the men's Premier League hockey kick off or push back yesterday with two games. The Hurricane Mavericks had a comfortable 2-0 win over the Northern Tridents, scoring in the first minute, and then the 12th minute before seeing off, holding off the rest of that game. And then in a close one, the Southern Alpiners were down 1-2 by the Central Falcons. The Falcons went ahead in 21 minutes, only for the Southern Alpiners to pull it back towards the end on 50 minutes. But right at the end, Joe Hanks scored to win the game with 2 seconds remaining on the clock. So congratulations to the Central Falcons and also the Hauraki Mavericks, who have won their opening games over in Hamilton for that one. I do intend to get over to Hamilton for some of the hockey games. Unfortunately, I've only got my car back from the mechanics late yesterday, and so couldn't make it. But we'll hopefully get over there and bring you some post-match interviews from those games over in Hamilton. Also, in local news, the 18-in-18, which is the women's national basketball competition, started last night with the Auckland Dream taking on the Waikato Wizards. And boy, oh boy, this was a cracking game over there, which really finished. We required a late three-pointer from the Dream to win it. The Wizards did have one shot as the clock was dying down to draw it, but unfortunately for them, it's a long way out, and it missed the rim. But they did push the Auckland Dream all the way. The Dream, one of the powerhouses in basketball here in New Zealand, who recently made the final, beating the North Shore team in the 3x3 at the weekend. So a good couple of days for them with that one. They were led by Pukehe Roberti, who scored 23 points in that one. And for the Wizards, Dayash was a power under the ring, but her 10 points and also Flavel's 12 points weren't enough to see the Wizards catch up with or beat the Dream on the night. Over in the golf and the Johannesburg Open, or the Joburg Open, is taking place. They've had the first round, and we have two South Africans at the top of the leaderboard. Nabar and Norris are both at 8 under par, closely followed by Veerman and Cockrell on 7 under par. So that looks like it's going to be a tight one, as only 2 shots back sees there are a whole gaggle of five more players also chasing that leading group. So it's going to be very close at by the looks of things at the Johannesburg Open. Over in the tennis, and it was another tough day for John Peers and Michael Venus. They faced Jürgen Melzer and Eduard Rojavas, and losing. They won the first set 2-6. They lost the second set on a tiebreaker 7-6, and then the tie-breaking set they lost 12-10. Having lost their opening 2 games, that means they haven't got a chance of qualifying at the ATP finals, but they do have one more game to come against Mate Pavic and Bruno Soares, who are the number 1 seeds, and we'll bring you up to date with how that one is, how that one goes over when on the it takes place tomorrow UK time, which basically means it'll be Sunday our time for that one. Don't forget this evening that we have the Minor 10 Cup for the semi-finals kicking off. Myself and Stephen Harris tomorrow will be at Auckland versus Waikato at Eden Park, bringing you post-match interviews. But tonight is Otago versus Northland, and my predictions are on nzsportradio.com, so we can go over and read those over there as to how the Minor 10 Cup action will go. We also have on Sunday the Wallabies versus the Pumas. The Pumas came off both sides coming off the back of beating the All Blacks. So it'll be interesting to see how both of them carry that momentum into that game in the Tri-Nations Cup or the Rugby Championship, depending on what name they're using at the moment. Don't forget, also this weekend we have New Zealand where football Premiership, both the men's and the women's, taking place. We'll bring you results of those over the weekend as well. So cracking weekend full of sport, with also the cricket start, or the women's Halliburton Johnson Shield starting as well tomorrow. So we'll bring you all of the results across all those sports this weekend. Just remember to join us at 7 a.m. for the morning sports briefing here on New Zealand Sports Radio. It looks like a cracking day, so get out there and do some sport yourself if you can. Otherwise, enjoy your last day of work, because, hey, the weekend is almost here.